AI, since a while ago, is everywhere. And it is very likely that you've already, in some way, interacted with one AI. Your email client, for example, uses a form of AI to filter out spam. You might also have interacted with Amazon's Assistant, or Google's Assistant, or Apple's Assistant. Those, of course, use AI in different ways. Even in the Photos app, it uses some form of AI to, for example, show you only photos of dogs when you are searching for dogs. But these AI examples so far have been very basic, and until very recently there hadn't been examples of real AIs that we could leverage on our jobs or to create new sources of income. Recently, however, more and more applications, more and more companies are developing amazing tools using artificial intelligence to make life easier for us. Now, at the same time, a lot of companies out there seem to simply use artificial intelligence as a marketing term, not really leveraging an artificial intelligence, but I did find 3 tools that I'm going to show you in this video that you can actually leverage now to make some money. Now, to make sure that I show that you can leverage AI in many different ways to make some money, I am going to show you real life examples of what you can do with this AI live, and I am going to show you how to use that AI at your current job, or perhaps with clients if you are or want to be a freelancer, or maybe even on your own company if you already have one, or even if you want one of these AIs to help you create a brand new one. Hello, my name is Eduardo Rosas. I have a finance and banking degree, and by the way, I also have a computer science degree, which I don't normally mention, but it has a little to do with this AI subject. Anyway, in this channel, I talk about everything that you need to know about personal finance, from creating new sources of income to planning for your retirement. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Anyway, in this video, I want to introduce to you 3, even a 4th secret tool that leverage AI and how you can actually use these tools in many different ways to make yourself some more money. And let me just get started right away with the first tool that I have right here, that is ChatGPT. Now, this tool has become very famous recently, but I think most people use it in the wrong way to try to make ChatGPT answer some questions, and I don't think that's the way you should use it. Let me show you what you can do to actually leverage this tool, for example, at your current job. Now, you could, of course, leverage this for other things, for clients and for a new company or your own company, but let's just say that we are using this at our current job to be more efficient. For example, let's say that you have to write an email, but writing emails is not exactly fun and it can take a little bit of time. Well, you can actually ask GPT to do it for you. Let's say that we want to write a nice email. We can ask ChatGPT to do it for us. Let's say that we want the email to thank the team for their hard work on integrating a new AI tool, and that I want to make sure that that email mentions that we will continue to monitor for impact of the new AI tools and that we appreciate the feedback that the team may have for us. So writing an email like this might take a little bit, but ChatGPT is doing it for us right now. Notice that it has already mentioned something about thoughts and suggestions because I asked ChatGPT to appreciate the feedbacks in the email. So there is asking for feedback, and there is also a thank you for the commitment. And it also says as we continue to monitor the impact of this. So there you have it. This tool even wrote the subject, wrote the email. Of course, I want to make sure that it has the right tone of voice, it has my name on it, that currently it doesn't, so on, a little bit of edits, but it's really going to make my job much easier. Well, at least so far, we're just looking at emails, but if your job requires you to be sending emails all of the time, I think you can see how this is going to make things so much easier. It's going to save you a few hours a week, in my experience. Now, this example, though, is a little bit basic. Let's ask in a new chat ChatGPT to do something different. Now, because I want this to be entirely different, I am creating a brand new chat. Because the way ChatGPT works is by trying to understand the entire context of the chat. So if we want to talk about something entirely different, it is best to do it in an entirely new chat so that there is no interfering context with whatever we are asking. So let's say that I want help creating a calendar for social media publications. What I can actually do is tell ChatGPT to imagine that it has a bake shop and that it already has some images and videos that must be published on these 3 social networks. I want it with this context to create a calendar for these posts and make sure that every day of the next week it includes a post for any of the platforms I mentioned. Notice how I am using a little bit of role playing here. I am asking ChatGPT to imagine, in this case, that it has a bake shop. This is exactly the way in which we can start to give the context necessary to this AI, for this AI to create better answers for us. Let's go ahead and see what it is going to answer. So because again, this AI is imagining that it is a bake shop, we are going to see something related to bake shops. For example, it says that on Monday, I should publish on Instagram a post featuring a mouth-watering image of one of our signature cakes. That is just an amazing idea, and it is taking into account that it is a bake shop for which we are creating this calendar. And you can see how it is even iterating from Instagram to TikTok to YouTube, and again to Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and so on. So it is taking into account all of the social networks that I mentioned. These couple of examples hopefully start to show you a little bit of the power, a little bit of the things that you can actually do with ChatGPT, but this is just scratching the surface. Actually, I want to share with you this amazing article by Ali Miller that goes ahead and talks about many more examples for many more roles that you may have. I am going to link this article down in the description down below. But Ali is going to go ahead and mention how you can actually integrate ChatGPT if you are a sales rep, if you are recruiting new people, if you manage a team, if you are in product development, if you are in product management, and so on. These examples are going to be very useful just to give you an idea on what you can achieve at your own job. But Ali Miller is also going to go ahead and give you some tips, in addition to the ones that I've already mentioned in this video, about how you can make the answers that ChatGPT gives to you just a little bit better. Now, the second tool that I want to introduce to you is called Brandmark. Brandmark Logo Maker. And because again, I want to make sure that we understand that we can use AI for many different scenarios, let's imagine that we are freelancers and that we are designer freelancers, that a lot of clients are asking us to design their logos or redesign their logos. This tool is going to make things so much easier for us. As the name suggests, it of course makes logos, but this tool goes way beyond that and can actually create brand guidelines, all by just typing a few keywords that the AI is going to understand. Let's check it out. So I am going to simply go ahead and click on create logo. I haven't even had to log in. That is amazing. I can start to see some examples without having to log in or enter credit card information or anything. I can just get started right away. And let's say that I want to create a logo for Montblanc. That is of course a company that already exists, a brand that already exists. Let's just see what this comes up with. Now here is where the magic happens. We have to describe with a few keywords what the brand identity is, what is associated with the brand for which we want this logo. And it is using these keywords that the AI is going to design a logo that relates to those keywords. And like I said, it's not just about the logo, but also about brand guidelines, for example. And those guidelines are going to take into account these keywords. So, for example, if I say that my brand is elegant, that it is also classy, that it is also expensive, perhaps high quality, perhaps, I don't know, European even, and maybe start to throw some keywords in here from products that we make. So, for example, pen and watches, or just watch, luggage, wallets, something like that. Let's go ahead and see what this comes up with. The next thing that I do have to select is the color style. So for my brand, I think simple goes a little bit better. And let's go ahead and see. It is going to generate the logos, again, based exclusively on those keywords and the sentiment that the AI is identifying on those keywords. And it comes up with some designs that it thinks are going to fit very well with our brand identity. And I do think these look actually quite good. Some of them not so much, of course, but this is doing a great job. And even if I don't use these logos as they are, I of course can edit them, but it can give me as a designer a very good starting point. And by the way, so far without having to pay for anything, it is only once I want to export this logo and get the brand guidelines that I was mentioning and so on, when I actually have to pay. And there will be a couple of plans for me to choose depending on what I need this AI tool to give me. But as you can see, with just the keywords, I am generating a bunch of ideas for a logo. Now, the third and actually fourth tools that I want to introduce to you, let's imagine that we're going to use them for our own business, whether that business is ready or is just something that we're planning to launch. And the third tool that I actually want to show you is Notion AI. Notion AI isn't by itself a tool. Notion is a tool and it is very famous. You may have heard of it. If not, it's a very, very, very powerful note-taking app. It has much more than just note-taking, including very recently an AI integrated into it that can help us write. So let's say, for example, that again, you have a bakery and you want to start posting stuff online so that more people learn about your history, learn about how you make pies or whatever you make at your bakery, and you get more clients. But you don't have time to write and or you don't consider yourself a very good writer. Well, Notion AI can come into play. All I have to do is with a / ask the help of Notion AI. Notice that one of the many different AI options that I have is to create a blog post. All I have to do is, of course, describe what kind of blog post I want to write. Let's say a blog post mentioning the best occasions to buy a cake for someone besides their birthday. Let's see what this comes up with. It starts typing. We can always stop it, discard it, and try again. But you can see, oh my god, this is good. Like, it creates a title, an introduction, and it goes ahead and mentions 3 different occasions in which to gift a cake that are not birthdays, celebrating an anniversary, achieving a goal, graduation. Even goes ahead and creates a conclusion. This is very good. Perhaps it is short so far, and perhaps I want to add a little bit of my touch on it. And perhaps I want to add some more information. Perhaps for my bakery, these are not enough. Maybe I want a couple more examples and so on. But come on, this has already saved me from a couple of minutes at least, if not a lot more, because this is a great idea. Now, I can always, by the way, just select some of this and call for the AI to do something. I can ask the AI to do something. So for example, I can make this longer. And it goes ahead and makes the text that it itself wrote a little bit longer. So yeah, let's go ahead and replace it. It's a little bit longer. I can of course do the opposite, making shorter or so on, but this AI tool is just amazing. And this is just an example helping me write a blog post. As you see, there are many more options that we have. Let's go ahead and create a brand new page. Very similar to ChatGPT, completely different context, so brand new page. In this page, I am simply going to start typing in here that I want some help from this AI to write me a social media post. Let's say that this is post for Instagram about the 5 steps people need to follow when saving money in 2023. Let's generate it. It goes ahead and sets the title. It goes ahead and writes down the description, and it even goes ahead and sets a few hashtags. In this case, I do have to change the 5 steps because those are not the 5 steps that I would follow. But that's really all the edits that I need to make. Again, it already has the hashtags and all. I can just copy and paste. This is incredible. However, I did mention that there is a fourth tool, and that is because I have some bad news about Notion AI. It is currently an alpha version, which means that it is not available for everyone. You can go ahead and navigate to notion.so/product/AI and join the waitlist. In my experience, it took only a couple of weeks for them to actually give me access to the tool. Waiting times could be different, but while you wait, you can actually try out the fourth tool, which is called Copy.ai. Copy.ai is going to help you in a very similar way to what we just saw with Notion, writing blog posts, writing social media posts, and so on. And because this is a little bit more tailored precisely to create copy, it may be a little bit more powerful. So for example, I can create a brand new project in here and I can ask it, and let's actually go ahead and select one of the templates. There are many different templates here to the left. We can go to social media content and let's select, where is it? I guess the better one is share tips and knowledge. So you can see that the templates can start to give some context to the AI, so it knows a little bit more about what kind of post I'm creating. So with this more context, the AI can create better posts. Let's see how it differs from Notion. So in this case, because I'm already giving it that context, it already knows what to ask me for. So for example, the industry is personal finance, and the information, let's say that it is the 5 steps that people need to follow to start saving money in 2023, which is the same thing that I said to Notion, but I'm also going to mention the 5 steps. I can even choose a tone. So again, we give a little bit more information to this AI than to Notion. So depending on the tone, the actual output can be a little bit different. So you can imagine how a friendly output is going to be very different to a relaxed or professional output. Let's just say that we want this output to be persuasive, and let's go ahead and create the content. Because this is very tailored, again, to copy, it is actually going to create many different examples, not just one output, like in the case of ChatGPT or in the case of Notion. Notice how I have a few of them. Now, I did forget, but I do have set this to Spanish all the way right here on the top. I changed the input and output language, even though the input is in Spanish and I wrote all of this in English. It is perfectly capable of understanding everything. But anyway, here are some different examples. And again, there are many different templates. You can go ahead and select a blog post wizard. There are even some fun options in here to create your dating profile, for example, or your wedding vows and so on. So you can probably see how ChatGPT can help you, let's say in this example, with your own business or a business that you want to create social media posts and interact with people and maybe drive sales through social media, but also, of course, to create the copy on your website. So there is more conversion of people landing on your website to people actually buying products from you and so on. So the power of these AI tools, while so far is by no means enough to replace us, at least just yet, it is definitely good enough to make our jobs much easier, much more efficient, and maybe we can ourselves become better at our jobs because we get such amazing help from these tools. But there you have it, these 4 tools, AI tools that you can actually leverage on your job right now with real life examples. Hopefully you found this useful, and if you did, right now this channel is brand new, so it would be incredibly helpful, and I'll be very grateful if you go ahead and share this video with everyone that you think might find it useful as well. In the meantime, see you in the next one.